You can't do the same thing and expect a different outcome. Many people, unfortunately, they'll get themselves into the same negative situation. They don't want to be in this negative situation, but they constantly, they'll find themselves in the same negative situation. And it'll only be themselves to blame, because when you look at the actions leading up to that negative situation, it's always the same thing. And that's why I say you can't do the same thing expecting a different outcome. If you want a different outcome, you have to do something different. So as I say, they'll be complaining, they'll be complaining, this keeps happening to me, or I keep getting into this situation, but they haven't changed a single thing in their life that has got them to that situation. And, from a religious point of view, sometimes these negative situations are a test from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and He wants you to change. He wants you to change. He wants you to stop doing something so you don't get to this crappy situation. But you just keep falling, you're not willing to change. That's the bottom line. Most people are not willing to change. I'll give 3 examples. Number 1 is many people, they complain that we can't wake up early, or my day is unproductive. Now, we know that waking up early and your day being productive goes hand in hand. If you're waking up at 10, 11, 12 o'clock, to be honest, it's Ramadan, so I've done that a couple of times. And I've noticed as well, that's why I'm putting it out there, that, you can't be up all night, wake up late, and then saying that my day is unproductive, I haven't achieved anything. You're doing the same thing, which is going to sleep late, and then you're expecting, a productive day or an early start. Not going to happen. You have to change. You have to look where I need to change. Assess yourself. Don't just live life passively. Most people, they just live in life, and the days going by, the years going by, 10 years are going by, and you're still in the same situation. You have to assess yourself. You have to constantly assess yourself. Sit by yourself. Have a notebook, have a pen, write down your goals, what I want to achieve. Just a bit of a side point, whereby there was a study undertaken. Those that had New Year's goals, those that wrote them down, and those that didn't write them down. Those that wrote them down, so this is literally just taking a pen and paper and writing your goals down, they succeeded 80% more than those that didn't write their goals down. So that's just a bit of a side point. But it's necessary to assess yourself and make changes, positive changes. So if you want to wake up early and be more productive, what changes do you make? You go to sleep early, number 1. You can't go to sleep late, watching TV, playing video games, and still expecting to wake up early. Doesn't work like that. You can't do the same thing expecting a different outcome. Number 2 is the night before, you write down your plan for the day. So you literally write it down, that I'm going to do this between this time, and that time. If you don't do this, then you'll wake up and you'll passively, you're not even present. You'll just passively live your day. You'll have breakfast. You'll go here. You'll speak to this person. Nothing will get achieved if you don't write your plans down from the night before. The second example that I want to give is whereby people want to make more money. They want to be earning more, but they're watching TV every evening after work. So you might be in employment, fair enough. This is always a starting step. But, you go 9 to 5, for example, and from 5 till bedtime, which can be 11, 12 o'clock sometimes, you're not doing anything productive. You're watching TV every evening for them hours, and you want to make more money. You can't do the same thing expecting a different outcome. You have to, that free time. So again, it doesn't have to even be employment. Forget employment. It can just be on the weekend, for example. You just laze around doing nothing. You're doing the same thing, which is you're lazing around. But you want a different outcome, which is you want to be making more money. It's not going to happen. This is basic rules. This is the basic principles of life. Unfortunately, most people, it doesn't click to them. And that's why I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to tell you that if you want to make more money, you have to assess yourself. You have to change certain things that you're doing. Once you change those habits, or certain, how you spend your time in certain scenarios, then you'll start to realize then the different outcomes will start being achieved, because you're doing different things, and therefore you're achieving different outcomes. Also remember that what got you here today, what got me here, for example, today, won't get me any further. I have to change my ways. I have to improve myself. I have to change certain habits if I want to get to the next stage. And this is the case for everyone and everything. The third example is from a religious point of view, is sometimes I speak to many brothers and we want to change certain sins. We're trapped in certain sins, and we want to change those certain sins. But again, I'll say it one more time, but I'll say it again now. You can't do the same thing expecting a different outcome. You can't expect to stop sinning. So you might be smoking weed, for example, with certain friends of yours. You can't expect a different outcome, which is I want to stop smoking weed, if you're still hanging around with the same people on a daily basis. Very straightforward, right? Or you may be in another negative situation whereby you take your phone to bed with you, and you get yourself into a negative situation. Again, quite simple, quite basic. You can't, you have to change. You have to assess the events, and then you change the events leading up to that negative situation, which is quite simple here, is don't take your phone to bed with you. That's a different angle now. This, we're talking about, addictions and the rest of it. But it doesn't have to be from a sinning perspective. It can also just be, that you want to level up in life. You want to grow yourself. You want to become a better person. Hanging around with the same people, unfortunately, with apologies, lil asaf, as they say in Arabic, is not going to help you change. So you have to change your environment. You change the friends that you hang around with, and if you do that, that's when, so you've made the change, and now you'll see the different outcome. And this, we can go on in terms of examples. There's so many different things. For example, someone deals with you in a negative way, and you keep behaving rationally as well. So someone mistreats you, and you just get angry. I'm talking like on a minute scale, but habits make your life. So someone mistreats you, you get angry, and then you feel, you don't feel good for the rest of the day. So now again, you go back, you assess yourself. The other person's behavior, mistreating you, that's someone else's behavior. If you go and watch my video in terms of letting the phone ring, you shouldn't let other people's behavior affect you negatively. You should assess yourself. So this person's mistreated me, I'm getting angry now. But then because of my anger, or I've got this negative feeling in my heart towards this person, I'm only weighing myself down. I'm only affecting myself. So I keep getting myself into this negative situation, which is I feel down and I feel depressed. So we need to go back. We need to assess ourselves. We need to see what changes can we make. You can't do the same thing expecting a different outcome, as we say. So you can't get angry in certain situations, or you have to learn to forgive. If I'm not forgiving anyone, then I'm going to feel negative. So I need to change. What do I need to change? I need to start being a bit more forgiving, or I need to just avoid certain people or certain environments, certain toxic behaviors I just need to avoid. As I say, the list can go on, the examples can go on. I hope you found this beneficial and useful. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and perhaps leave in the comments below some situations where you've previously been in, which have been negative. You've made certain changes, and now you're seeing positive outcomes, and others will be able to relate and can benefit from you as well. نسأل الله القبول والإخلاص. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.